Welcome back, everybody. Well, we're taking just a break from cooking for a minute to talk a little bit about something that's very, very important. We're all excited about this nice weather we're having. Can't wait to get into our swimsuits, our shorts, take a dip into the pool. And before we do that, before summer rolls around, it's always a good reminder to talk about the damages of the sun and tanning and all that sorts of stuff. So Dr. Brent Weed is here from Dermatology Associates. Good morning. Nice to see you.
It's great to be here.
Thanks for coming. Let's talk a little bit about the dangers of tanning and tanning beds, tanning all together, which I think people are, like I say, so excited to see the sun and the warmer weather that sometimes we get a little too excited about it.
Absolutely, especially this time of year. There's vacations, there's prom for some of our teenagers.
Yes.
And so there's a big draw there. But tanning can be very dangerous. The CDC and the World Health Organization has classified ultraviolet rays, which is what tanning is, as a cancer-causing agent. So that's probably the #1 thing, cancer.
And premature aging, it's not great for people who want to, avoid wrinkles and things like that. That's just going to speed up the process, correct?
Absolutely. In fact, the ultraviolet rays break down some of the elastic fibers in our skin, which keep it resilient. And when those are broken down, causes wrinkles. In fact, some people often ask, well, why under here does the skin look different? Well, it's been blocked by the sun for all those years. So this is sort of normal skin, whereas the brown spots and the wrinkles are years of sun damage. So
good point. It also can damage our eyes, tanning can. So it's so important to, wear good sunglasses. These days, I don't leave the house without sunglasses, and especially in the summer, I've got a hat at all times, and it may not be the greatest look, but it's it's important.
Absolutely, and it's difficult. My wife and I have 6 children, and so it's hard. You're chasing them around, but I think parents these days are much more aware of getting sunscreen on their children and some of the dangers of tanning. So we've made progress there, but there's still strides to be made. So
tanning beds. Tell us about that statistic by the CDC. Huge risks for developing melanoma, especially for the younger ones, as we talked about, the ones that are going to prom and want to look great, and they're going to those tanning beds early.
That's right. One of the statistics talks about a 75% increase in the chance of melanoma in those patients or those people. Some people say, or you can read, 70% of those who use tanning beds, are between the ages of 16 and 29. So It's really this younger population. And unfortunately, melanoma, there's often no signs that it's come on. It's a silent killer, so to speak. And so people will continue to tan and not realize that something bad might be happening. So
what are some of the myths about tanning? People think that tanning beds are, hey, they're a safe way to tan. What would you say to that?
Well, there's really no safe way to tan. Any ultraviolet exposure, especially in a tanning bed setting, can be very dangerous for us down the road. And so what we perceive as a short-term gain really down the road can cause a lot of problems. And so that's one of the big myths. And the other one is that if we tan, we somehow protect ourselves. The body's natural protection from the sun is tanning, but we're trading that short-term benefit for the long-term problem. So there's a lot of other options besides tanning beds to be safe in the sun and still have fun, because ultimately we want to get out and have fun with our families.
Sure.
And there's safe ways to do that. So
what about the whole thing? Well, you need vitamin D. It's good for you.
That is a big discussion right now. And it's certainly true that the sun and ultraviolet helps produce vitamin D in our body. And we could get into the different types of ultraviolet, but ultraviolet B is the strong producer of vitamin D. And that's not one of the main ultraviolet rays in tanning. And as well, it doesn't take very much sunlight to produce the vitamin D that we need. And so these tanning sessions over long periods certainly aren't necessary. And there's other ways to get vitamin D. And if there's questions about that, we'd be happy to talk with patients or their primary doctors as well. So.
And if you notice anything that you think is out of the ordinary, on your skin, don't let it go. I mean, catching things early is huge.
Absolutely. In fact, the only proven cure for melanoma, and that's not the only skin cancer, but that's one of the most common among our young patients now, is surgery. And so if we can catch it early, we can treat it, and we can cure the patient. So.
And you know the whole thing, sunscreen, 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 hats, sunglasses, the works.
Absolutely.
Now's the time. Doctor, thanks so much. And again, Dermatology Associates, several locations all over Northeast Wisconsin. How can people find you?
DermWisconsin.com. We're on the internet, and that's probably the best way. We have all our locations and providers listed there. So.
All right. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Okay, thanks so much.
Good reminders.